Nice. We live, boys. We are live. As you can see, I'm still doing pretty good today, exactly as predicted, guys. With XRP prices, we're back at 2.10. Let's take a look at the 4-hour chart if this was correct. Yeah, it's still on the basis. Like, we're going to take some profit here, some shorts, some bottoms. Obviously, the markets have not been what we were expecting, but obviously it's not the most terrible as we predicted. So if you look over here, bam, it's still, XRP is still like trading above $2, but obviously a lot of whales took profit here. So it does tell you something. It tells you that the whales are comfortable at taking profit at 220. So 220 is what they feel safe at this point. And, they go ahead and say, okay, I'm gonna sell everything. So yeah, definitely a very scary move for XRP overall. But if you guys want to get started, by the way, link in the description below for free bonus for 2bit, because we are partnered up with them for free XRP. So that's something I'm going to be showing you guys. Absolutely amazing bonker stuff. So we're going to take a trade on 2bit over here. And I can feel the downtrend, like the candles are getting lower. If you check, the candles are getting lower. You can see here, there's my bonus. You can get up to 1 million trading volume, gets you 90 XRP. You can get up to 2,500 XRP if that's something you're interested in. So very, very important factor here, guys, is right now it's been absolutely terrible for XRP, but the red might stop pretty much soon. And here's why. And welcome everyone to the stream. Thank you for smashing that like button. Really appreciate it as well. So yeah, we've been doing a trading competition with me and the boys. We've been looking at what XRP can do, and I've been mostly trading XRP. And I feel like there is some resistance building up. Like it can go uptrend. Again, there's been a battle between whales and bulls, but it seems pretty possible that a lot of these red candles could be profit taking from this sudden pump. So yeah, it could further dip to 2.3, but I'm just going to go ahead and open a long on this one. I feel confident that this is going to be XRP's prices right now, and it's going to stop at some point. So if we literally check over here, 2.10, this could be, again, I'm not saying it will be, but this could be like as low as it gets. Again, because we saw 187 and, it basically dropped off. It dropped down further. So at this point, it is a big, big uncertainty for a lot of guys. And this is where you have to be, confident in yourself. This is where you make those price analysis. And then you go ahead and think, hey, this happened, that happened. And suddenly we're still in the green, all this bad news. And you got to think XRP is still above $2. So absolutely amazing news if you still ask me, that it's still above 2. So obviously you can see here, I'm lagging a bit because I'm streaming on multiple platforms here. So let me check that. Let me close this. So yeah, I am going to take a long position here, $2, take profit. And we're going to set up a stop profit of 50x leverage. There's no need to do a 50x leverage. You guys can do just less than 25 because otherwise you'll be liquidated. You know, a lot of people want to take big trades, and that's completely fine. But big trades is the way when, you know, you can get absolutely destroyed. Take profit at 5% and stop loss at 5%. We're going to open a long at $2. Actually, the risk is going to be $2, 2%. Not even that, because something is wrong here. Obviously, let's check the futures part over here. For some reason, this is loading super, super long. So let us check here, close all of these pages. Check what's possible. So yeah, obviously it could go still in a downtrend momentum, which is the scary part. I am going to be opening a long here. So let's just open a stop loss, do a long, profit 5, and if it drops to 1%, 2% here, and it goes up to 13, that's my price point at this moment. When 2.212 is reached, so if we go 2.12, this is going to be in profit. And this is where I think this is possible, according to my price analysis. Take 1%, and we have here a trade. Bam. And let's see what happens with this trade. And obviously we're in profit right now, right? We took 10% of our size, which is 15,000 USDT, because this is a demo account just to show you guys. So while we go from here, we check what's new in the crypto space. And, you know, lots of great content creators. The CFTC just shocked XRP holders.
FTC has made a very shocking announcement, which I think you guys deserve to hear about. This affects the crypto industry in a way that we have not gotten some good news about in a very long time. So listen very closely. Also, we have none other than Larry Fink coming out with a lot of interesting things to say too. And I'm going to play this because, you know, there is a lot that's in the works right now between banks, sovereign wealth funds, and so much more. You guys need to get ready for what is to come here, okay? So first, let's talk about Larry Fink. Let's talk about what's going on with sovereign wealth funds. I do think this begs your guys' attention. Listen up.
But I can tell you there are a number of sovereign funds that are standing by. They're adding incrementally at 120.
Yeah, so sovereign funds are basically big companies buying crypto. And as you can see, I'm 1.64% up on my demo account. Because if I've been learning trading, if you guys want to learn trading as well, join my link in the description below, 2bit. So that's something you guys should consider. But obviously been a pretty big problem for a lot of these traders, you know, just buying it up, because it's going to get harder and harder to buy XRP if these big whales are buying.
20, 100. I know they bought more in the 80s. Right. That's fine. And they're establishing a longer position. And you own it over years. This is not a trade. You own it for a purpose. But I can tell you there are...
Right. So basically what Larry Fink is talking about here is sovereign wealth funds are long-term thinkers. And these long-term thinkers that manage these sovereign...
They know people are going to be buying crypto years down the line. It makes total sense to them.
Wealth funds are deciding to buy Bitcoin. I think this is a very solid reasoning that over the long term, Bitcoin is going to be a very strong value holder and something that a number of different countries are going to continue to go towards. And what we're seeing is many European nations are doing this. Of course, the United States is looking to do more of this, and many other countries as well, some of the leading economies in the world. So this is something that definitely deserves some attention. Shout out to Larry Fink for covering that.
So this is going to be a pretty important factor. Binance founder CZ shows Peter Schiff the advantages of Bitcoin over gold.
I mean... Is this what you're trying to... I mean...
So one of Peter Schiff's biggest arguments is that, like, you know, crypto's fake. It's a fugazi. You know, it's just a made-up internet money. You know, it doesn't have any value. Gold's the way to go. And here he is with a piece of gold in his hand, and he can't even tell if it's gold or not, right?
Now, that's a good analysis. Like, the thing with Bitcoin is you can also get fake Bitcoin, I guess, like some people did that, but... I mean, the thing with gold, I have the problem is, like, how will the big banks move it, like, from one country to another? I don't think crypto will be a digital gold, but I think it could be another asset. Like, we have many dollars. Why can't we have Bitcoin as well? We have, like, dollars. We have tons of like yen, we have all these types, and we could just go ahead and also focus on that, like having a new part of crypto becoming the mainstream.
This is essentially the final stepping stone for major banks to start offering full-on custody services. Now, in case you guys also missed it, in a very recent interview, Brian Armstrong, the CEO of Coinbase, he also mentioned that he's working with a number of large US banks on helping them start to custody crypto assets for their users. And so essentially what I believe we're going to see here is Coinbase is going to partner with the names like Bank of America.
The reason why I like XRP is because it has a way bigger community than gold right now, I'm guessing. I don't know how the gold community is, but XRP will always have like a sort of like a factor in building like the next level.
JP Morgan, you name it, Wells Fargo, all of the top banks, financial institutions across America, and they're going to start offering crypto custodial services to their clients. So clients will be able to log into their JP Morgan account, go to their crypto section, purchase Bitcoin directly from their bank account, essentially making crypto more easily accessible than it has ever been before. You no longer need to go through these ETFs and transferring your funds over to, these websites that you're no longer familiar with. I mean, this is going to allow where the majority of the wealth in America is held with the older boomer generation to finally be able to access these markets extremely easily. I mean, it's going to be as simple as for a lot of these people just to log into their bank, make the purchase directly on the bank, hold that crypto directly on their bank. And for the people that can't even do that, they'll literally just be able to call up their bank and say, hey, I would like to buy Bitcoin. Can you do this? Yes, done. It's going to be a super straightforward process. And I just think that straightforward. Over the long term, this is essentially going to allow trillions of dollars more to flow into XRP, Bitcoin, Ethereum, all the other relevant cryptocurrencies that people are going to want more and more exposure to. And so, long story short, I don't think that you guys are bullish enough. Even if
I think the thing is we don't need, like it to overtake gold. Oh, so I lost $15. I got stopped out here. Seems like it's going a bit of furish momentum. That's why it's good to have stop loss here. But we don't need a 15x gold, okay? We don't need things like that. So very important factor here is what is the plan here? And the plan is right now with XRP is to become like a faster payment. It wants to add value, right? It wants to add some form of value. And it's seeing like some sort of drops here on 2bit if you guys haven't checked this out already, as I told you guys. But yeah, if it's going to add value, more companies, more utilities will start to use it.
If I know we've had a roller coaster ride over the last few months here, I mean, October 10th was a crazy time. We have to continue thinking long term. Sovereign wealth funds, CFTC regulations, banks offering crypto custody. When these pieces of news come out, it's not going to instantly cause XRP to pump to $3 or break a new all-time high like many people.
It's going to slowly build. That's the thing.
Will have you believe. The news comes out. There's maybe even a sell the news event. The price of XRP might go down following this news.
Saw that before.
And then slowly institutions and retail will start to accumulate off of those lows. And eventually, when there is enough global liquidity to support a major price surge, it will happen. But we have to remember, what is the catalyst for these price surges? Well, elections are a pretty big one, as we saw last November, last year. But of course, the number one, which we should all know by now, is M2. Okay, so we just have to wait for M2 to align with all of this beautiful news that we have right now. And yeah, the price action will absolutely follow. I have no doubt in my mind about that. The CFTC says it has developed a comprehensive plan for the U.S. to reclaim its place.
Yo, welcome everyone to the chat. Welcome to the chat. Welcome to the chat stream. So yeah, we're just chilling today. So yeah, that's the most important factor, is we are slowly breaking it through. Slowly but surely, we are breaking it up to another all-time high. Slowly but surely.
This is not slowing down. When they're doing 25 basis point cuts, it's not fixing this problem. And so when this new Fed comes in May, they're going to be more aggressive. This much we are very certain of. And when they're more aggressive, quantitative easing or money printing will be forced. It'll get to a point where the interest rates get to a certain point where it's forced. They have to print the money. And that is the 2021 moment that we saw last cycle for XRP, Bitcoin, all of the cryptos. They absolutely exploded. This is the stimulus. We have not gotten the stimulus this bull run we just went through, guys. Zero. Nada. Yet we still saw Bitcoin go to $126,000.
I think this was the thing, like when the big whales start buying, this is when we are actually going to be seeing that big momentum, right? This is when it's really gonna make a big difference for a lot of these XRP holders. So yeah, just let that sink in. This is gonna be the big hit for XRP.
Dollars per coin. That is insane. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
So yes, when I look at,
but this is gonna be hard. Like right now, XRP is on a downtrend, guys. If you want to get started trading, link in the description below. So yeah, it is a downtrend. So how can it hit 366 again? Bitcoin must move up. That's the basics of it.
Clarity that we need, like, you know, the regulations are all in place, and we have the stimulus coming at the same time. If that's not a recipe for success, frankly speaking, I don't know what is. And so listen, all I'm asking you guys to do is just get into my Discord and you can see the magic happen in real time. I literally post all of my trades in there. I have a completely transparent track record. There's more than 4,000 people inside of my Discord in my premium access that see all of my trades and have their lives changed literally every single day. You guys can be that too. It's super easy to get into Discord. Follow my link.
So yeah, you guys have a pretty clear idea of what's going on. Is the government is just gonna slowly but surely regulate all this stuff that we have been requesting to regulate anyway. Ripple XRP news, mega whale alert as we take a new XRP position. Do we short? Do we long? What do we do here? Obviously, I think it would make sense to do like a smaller run up here, even though we got stop loss. Just a small stop loss so we can go over here. Bam, see a further downtrend. Maybe it could be a reversal, but obviously the red candles are way bigger right now than the green ones. So I am going to take a further, 1,000. Let's see. It's a demo account balance, so we can take a 1,000 bet. And we can go to advanced instead of stop loss. If XRP hits this price, sell it. And if it goes to 2 or 1, maybe even 1%, we can stop loss it. So let's start to short and open.
What is up, everyone, and welcome back to the Bullwinkle Blueprint. Hopefully you're all having an incredible day. Make sure you're subscribed and hit that follow button because look, the next few months in crypto are gonna be insane. And today's story, well, this one's wild. Whales. Whales aren't just buying XRP, they are swallowing trillions of it in a way we haven't seen since early accumulation phases of 2017 and 2020. Your price is calm, social media, it's quiet, but the ledger, it tells a complete...
This is why a lot of these whales and Bitcoin whales keep buying. They keep buying smaller amounts, especially on 2Bit, guys. If you want to join 2Bit, there's a free bonus in the link in the description below. Trade to our massive XRP rewards. Trading volume 1 million gets you 90 free XRP. If that's something you're interested in, join the links below.
Completely different story. And once you see the pattern, you're going to understand exactly what's coming next, folks. Sit back, relax, let's jump into it and check this out. Let me blow it up for those of you looking at the screen. This is when the Vanguard got into crypto, right? This wasn't retail. I keep telling you it's not retail. It is institutions. Retail doesn't move the market anymore. This was institutional capital sitting on the sidelines waiting for a green light. And the moment that the second largest asset manager in the US, Vanguard, reversed its internal ETF ban, guess what? The dam broke. And here's the real story behind this tweet and this image. This wasn't a Bitcoin pump. This was an institutional unlock, and we're going to see a lot more of those.
So yeah, US Open after Vanguard ETF ban lifted, and Vanguard immediately went big on crypto, which tells you that they are going to double down on it. They're doubling down on basically listing ETFs which generate volume. It's basically free money for them at this point. So this is something you guys should remember.
As the months go by, the second Vanguard stepped aside, trillions in managed retirement accounts finally had access to Bitcoin. And they rushed into the biggest, cleanest liquidity pool that they could find, BlackRock's IBIT. So why does it matter for XRP though? I got you. Because look, every single time that institutions get regulatory clarity of one asset, they immediately start.
So yeah, I feel like they will also list more than just XRP. XRP is the start for them. It makes a pretty clear path.
Searching for the next one. Bitcoin was phase 1. It's your highway. ETH ETFs, that was phase 2. And XRP, the only asset with a fully adjudicated non-security ruling, well, it's sitting perfectly positioned for phase 3.
Yeah, phase 3 is what? Like, you got a lot of phases for XRP. Ripple closed off acquisition of G Treasury. It seems like they're buying a lot of companies. Like, they bought ton of companies. And I'm hoping, like, I think a lot of them will be profitable. I think they got a lot of investments. That's why they can buy them. Because people, you know, they sold some XRP. We saw the not the CTO, but the co-founder of XRP sell a lot of his XRP, like 230 million. And some of that could go into companies and diversifying. But yeah, they have to do a lot of that because they know crypto is the future. And they're, you know, making tons of money. They have the market cap of other companies.
Over to this, Brad Garland.
There's like, what, 700 employees?
House. He states that Trump's Crypto Clarity Act could pass in early 2026. That's right. So the U.S. went from hostile under Gary Gensler and Jay Clayton, and now it is flipping faster than anyone actually realizes. This is huge. I told you in the first video, I'm going to tell you again. Brad is not a hype guy. He's not a BuzzFeed headline machine. When he speaks this directly, it's because the gears are already moving behind the scenes. We're watching the fastest policy reversal in modern financial history. For 5 straight years, the U.S. treated crypto like a virus. They tried to regulate it through enforcement. They tried to suffocate it through innovation. And they tried to keep institutions on the sidelines. And then suddenly, practically overnight, everything flipped. Ripple buys G Treasury. Corporate clients worth $10 trillion immediately start asking about stablecoin integrations. Brad is openly saying clarity isn't just coming. It is already here. You know what institutions do when clarity hits, right? They accumulate before the crowd.
That's why we saw them buying for 1.87. Why would they buy it for $2, $3 if they already bought it all up for 0.5? They don't have to buy anymore because with an ETF you need to hold something. They don't need to hold anything. And you can see my positions over here. Did I get stop lossed again? No. I didn't even open an order. I'm just waiting for a good entry. It's just going sideways today. The whole market is sideways. It's absolutely terrible what's happening. So it is very sad. You know, a lot of these institutions are going to be the ones that are going to profit most from XRP. That's what's happening right now, is they are making way more than the average holder.
Crowd realizes what happens. I tell you all the time, institutions front run these markets. This is exactly what we're seeing with XRP right now. Listen up.
I think one of the things that Binance has done incredibly well, the numbers that Richard's talking about, 300 million people, they're bringing people into crypto. We all want, you know, the echo chamber we all experience of people in crypto. But the amazing thing about the passionate pioneers that are here in this room is they've been in. We just want that audience to grow. And I think what you're seeing happen in the United States with regulatory clarity, Richard earlier referenced the Genius Act. The Genius Act is regulatory clarity for stablecoins. And you're already seeing more institutional interest in stablecoin payments. Ripple purchased a company called G Treasury recently, which has visibility into over $10 trillion of payments from their corporate customers. And the number of those customers who are already, I mean, the acquisition closed Monday. The number of those customers that are already approaching us interested in leveraging stablecoins for the flexibility, for better yield, for as a trusted resource is, because of that clarity, people are leaning in. We don't yet have, obviously Ripple went through a long lawsuit with the US government, and XRP received regulatory clarity from the federal courts. We have been championing, and I know Team Solana has been championing regulatory clarity for crypto broadly.
I mean, this is the thing. A lot of these companies, they want to push through with regulatory clarity for this simple reason, because if they do, they could get the ETF listings, which would mean that it would sell like hotcakes at this point. So yeah, that would be amazing if that happens.
And what is generally called the Clarity Act in the United States, there's still forward momentum on that. I don't think it's going to happen this year, which the President Trump has kind of championed. But I think sometime in the first half of next year, we'll see passage of legislation, which will continue to unlock.
Look, I want to make it very clear. Brad, he knows what's going on behind the scenes, everyone. He's involved in these conversations.
He's talking to a lot of politicians. He's talking a lot in politics. So he knows. He knows when he says something, he shares it.
Seeing right now with XRP is exactly what we've seen with Bitcoin and ETH. They are quietly accumulating behind the scenes. Let's do a quick market check here. Bitcoin, 92,918. It's currently down 0.09%. ETH coming in at 3,174. It's currently up 2.95%. And XRP, yeah.
So yeah, you can see here that my chart is saying that we're slightly shortish on this technical indicator. So let us check over here. I think I'm going to open a small short for XRP, guys. So a very important factor is always take a stop loss. But yeah, it does seem like that mega whales are accumulating XRP, but they already accumulated before. Why would they buy again? Like, it doesn't make any sense to them. They already have XRP. They're holding it now.
Buddy, it's coming in at $2.14. It is down 1.47% as your total cryptocurrency market cap is at 3.17 trillion. Now, we touched on this in the first video, but I want to touch on it again because this is absolutely massive. This right here, what you were looking at, XRP ledger velocity. This is telling us that there's real usage here. This is telling us that large players are accumulating. Let me blow this up for you. What you were looking at is real usage, not speculation. This is the part that everyone is underestimating. Velocity is the tell. Velocity is the heartbeat of the XRP ledger. When velocity spikes while your price stays flat, that means one thing. Accumulation by large players who are preparing for something.
Yeah. So velocity basically means what? It could also mean that a lot of whales are buying while other retail is selling. This could also mean that, right?
This happened back in 2020.
So we're going to open, again, if you want, join in the link description below, but we're going to open a small short. Like $2 is completely fine. Light perpetuals. GTC, good till canceled. We can just open futures, light perpetual, XRP.
Everyone. And everyone slept on it. And they didn't understand what was going on. And they were confused. Right before XRP exploded from 20 cents to nearly $2. That is a 10x move. History, it sure isn't repeating, right? History doesn't repeat itself, right? But it's rhyming.
So yeah, I opened a short.
And it's rhyming with bigger numbers and bigger players.
I opened a, what, $62 short?
I don't know if you noticed, but these ETFs by these four companies, Bitwise, Canary, Grayscale, and Franklin Templeton, they are outperforming every single ETF that is out there, they are breaking all expectations. No one expected them to do as well as they are. We are averaging $43 million per day, which is around 23-ish million XRP being sucked up Monday through Friday like clockwork.
Yeah.
That's not retail.
So that's not retail, but again, maybe it's being bought up by ETFs that haven't bought up before. That could also be a possibility.
Money. That is institutional money coming in. These are whales stacking. What do you think happens when we get another 3 ETFs from 21 shares, Wisdom Tree?
I mean, this would be smaller type of ETF shares, but they do help.
And if CoinShares comes back to the table, we have 7 ETFs now. And we go from an average of 43 million per day to 63 million or even a 50 million. That is just more XRP being sucked up. If it's 20 million
Look, even as I open the trade on 2bit, link description below, I'm up 2.25%.
day, that's 100 million a month. That's 400 million a month. Times that by 3, that's 1.2 billion. Folks, XRP gone in 3 months.
Yeah, but you forgot who the people who are selling, right? So there's also people who are selling at this point.
It's going to get crazy, and that's what the XRP Ledger Velocity chart is explaining to you. And talking about that over on xrprightnow.com, where you should be getting all your news from, we got a Japanese public company. They're called Alt Plus. They officially announced that they are adding XRP to its corporate treasury. That's right. This is your first shot in a new global trend. Corporate treasuries are starting to diversify.
So yeah, I just closed with a profit because I started shorting XRP. I don't even use price charts anymore because I know I can see here what the whales do. When you see what the whales want to do, then it's 10 times easier.
Out of per cash and into a programmable liquid digital asset. Look, Bitcoin started the playbook. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. But XRP is the first asset that actually fits the need of a corporate treasury. Speed, settlement, liquidity routes, and cross-border utility. This isn't a meme buy. This isn't a marketing stunt, everyone. This is a regulated, listed Japanese corporation making XRP a formal, long-term balance sheet asset. Japan leads every tech adoption. Every time they move first, your other Asian markets follow. This is a very big deal. And then we jump over to this. ETF clients buy over 50 million worth of XRP, bringing the total ETF held net assets at $906 million.
That's pretty big. I'm worried, though, if the whales start selling. This is what I've been saying for 3 months. This is what I said at 3.66. I was very worried if whales start selling, and this is why I've been looking and starting trading on 2bit, because on 2bit you can learn these rewards and learn how to trade like me. I'll leave it in the link description below. But you get a pretty clear idea. If the whale starts selling, we are absolutely destroyed. So it is a very worrying factor right now. Again, these ETFs are awesome. Clients buying 50 million XRP, bringing total ETF to 900 million. Serious allocation to XRP. How many outflows? You know, there's going to be also a lot of outflows from that. Larry Flink just slipped about XRP tokenization. We'll have a huge story. What else we have? We have the Bitcoin 4-year cycle. Just look at the data. XRP will dump and pump from here.
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Cesar, and we are.
Yeah, I watch Cesar a lot, but seems like he's very good at technical price analysis, and I want to take a look at it as well.
We're talking about XRP today. It is the 4th day of December, and here we are sitting at about $2.09 with 4 hours and 46 minutes left in this day. Hit that like button, subscribe. Let's get into it, my friends. Here we are dropping. We're down about 5% on the day so far, but that's okay, right? A little bit of chop is expected whenever tensions and emotions are high. Emotions are certainly high right now. I would very much expect that we could go lower. We could even go lower than this low here and still come back up and reign victorious. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be detrimental. Be open-minded to that. With that being said, I do think this is a low that we can count on, that we can depend on, just as it was back here, just as it was back here, here, all these times. But time will tell. We'll see. Looking at the short-term stuff, zooming into the 1 hour time frame here, we are at about $2.08, moving down, breaking down out of the structure. Isn't it funny? So I saw a bunch of memes today. They're like, we barred up. Could we BART back down? It looks like we're gonna.
Exactly what we saw. Like, this is the price patterns we are seeing right now. It seems like whales are taking profit, and they will continue to take profit as long as XRP is alive. It is worrying because as they can take, this profit, they will not stop selling. As they can buy low and sell high, XRP is very good for a lot of traders, especially in Korea.
BART back down. Perhaps we find support at prior areas of resistance. Perhaps we do drop a little bit lower. Is Bitcoin doing the same? It looks like it's going to do the same, man. It's hilarious. XRP, typically that happens in times of low liquidity, actually. The RSI is bearish. The stochastics.
So yeah, a lot of the stuff is bearish right now. And again, it's December. This is what I'm worried about. December and bearish is bad news.
They're bearish. The MACD is bearish. Lower.
So yeah, we're gonna, if you guys haven't already, race and became the top trader and win 2,500 XRP. So this is something
if you want to get started trading XRP today, simply click the link in the description below, click register to participate, and sign up over here for a free bonus. Like the video and join me, link in the description below.
So yeah, look at this.
Makes sense, but probably nothing too dramatic. Lower doesn't mean we go lower than this low. It just means we go lower than the current price. And the golden ratio is right there, lower at $2.07.
Ooh, $2.07 would be bad though.
$2.05. That's a perfect area to find support. If we don't find support there, we will likely still find support above $2. I highly doubt we go below $2, okay?
That's the same thing I'm saying with Caesar. There's no reason because we already found the bottom at 1.87.
From there, we should recover and move higher, not lower. That's my expectation. Looking at the 4 hour time frame here, a little bit of chop, a little bit of volatility here. It's like you're getting a big move up, a big move down, a big move up, a big move down. It's like we're in the process of it right now. RSI looks bearish at the moment, so do the stochastics, and the MACD is pretty useless here, to be completely fair. Looking at this from the perspective of this high to this low here, went up to your golden ratio.
So again, that's a pretty big drop when you look at the prices over here. We went all the way suddenly in like a few months. We went from 2.58 to 1.87, so dropped 70 cents for XRP. So again, not a good look for XRP if the whales are here. The whales will continue selling. The whales cannot be your friends unless they keep buying. But of course, why do whales buy? They buy the same as us. They buy to profit, to make risky trades. And this is the big problem I'm seeing. Like, a lot of people think, oh, ETFs are in. No, they're here to sell, and they're here to sell at a nice chunky profit. And they're going to, like, when retail buys at 366, these whales will sell.
Down. You do look a little deconstructive. I'm not going to lie. With that being said, XRP, it's actually possible that we do go lower. We could go lower than what we saw on the 21st of November, and you need to be okay with that, right? You don't have to like it, but you need to be okay with it because we could go lower. If you're not okay with it, you're going to panic sell. If you're okay with it, we'll come back and we'll be up here in a matter of no time at all. Maybe we do. Maybe there is a sell-off. Maybe it does happen. I'm not calling for that right now. That's not the call. The call clearly is that we will not go below $2. We will find support somewhere right up.
This is what I agree with. 1.87 support. This is why. But I am furtherly thinking, could we drop, from 2.9 to 2? This is possible. So I am going to open a very, very small short here, taking profit at 1% of this. So take profit and 5 and bam. So we're going to take profit 3% or 2%. Our stop loss is going to be 1.7 with 1%. You can obviously see here, open a short.
Up against $2, but not below it. But if I'm wrong, and we do see a lower low, it's probably not going to be that extreme, and the amount of time that we spend below these prices will be.
This is good. It's good that it's building at least some resistance at this price level because it's been looking pretty bad for XRP.
Very short-lived. Very short-lived. I mean, I'm telling you.
I mean, this is good that this, bottom was short-lived, because we could literally be seeing like another pump at this point. It is the exciting part.
And imagine that we took 5 days to make our way to lower lows from here. It would take 1 day to come back above the price that we're at.
And yeah, if we didn't see like such a good bounce back, it means like the whales could keep on selling.
Now, like it's going to be so quick, the reaction, if that happens, but I doubt it does. Definitely suggesting that we go lower from here, though. Daily time frame, looking at this, the RSI is beat to beyond all belief. We've had a couple of theories with this zone here. Clearly something different.
So if you guys don't know what RSI means, is basically like retail signal indicator. Like if it's 100, it means a lot of like the retail is back, but the retail simply has no reason to be back. Why would they be back if the whales, like, if institutions are buying, they could just buy through ETFs. They have no reason yet to return to crypto like 2021. 2021 was best for retail, but it's nothing even close.
What's happening here?
Like most people making videos now are making to people who have been in the crypto space for years. If you've been watching, you probably have been in the crypto content for many, many years.
With this point of resistance, rather than all these other points of resistance, you can see that all of these are pretty uniform, just promoting dramatic shifts down, going to the oversold zone almost every single time. Where here, we did not go to the oversold zone. We actually bounced off the 40, but now we're finding resistance at the 50. I really do think we're getting shaped up to break out. This is what gives me some bullish hope, optimism, because this trend that we've been in now since September will likely break soon. Any day now, any day now. Probably not today, maybe not tomorrow, but sometime next week, I wouldn't be surprised, or even over the weekend. We break out of this, the upside will prevail. We will form a higher low wherever it might be, and then we should be moving up higher. Stochastics are in somewhat of a bullish posturing here. I don't like that we're rejecting the overbought zone. We need to hold the 50 and come back up.
Yeah, that's the thing. But again, we need a healthy support from a whale.
The MACD does look productive for the time being, but still overall somewhat bearish. There's a lot of work to be done. And again, while I am calling...
It's going to be hard to fight against all these whales, though. A lot of hard stuff to be fighting against whales.
We're at $2.08. I'm calling for a 1 cent drop, a 7 cent drop, something in between there. While that is possible and probably happens, right? And we're calling for the upside. It's completely acceptable to go lower. If I'm wrong and we don't find support at the areas that we're looking to find support, if we go lower, all this upside that we're about to go over right now, I'm about to talk about it, it's still going to happen. It's just instead of happening from here, it'll happen from down here, and it's still...
All right, so this is a good news. Even if we go lower, he's saying this is not a big problem, that this can be fixed. I'm actually kind of hyped for that. Like if this can be resolved, there is a lot of upward momentum here. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Like even if we go down, we will go up at some point. So it's not like we're going straight down back to $1. I like that.
Still going to happen one way or another. But looking at the upside, assuming... I think rightfully so, that this is the low. We should be moving up towards our golden ratio zone. I wouldn't be surprised at all if XRP broke out of this range here that you've been in since October 10th, right? You broke out of this range as soon as you saw a higher high, boom, that's when you find resistance. And it's right at the golden ratio, and it's also right at prior areas of support. So it makes a lot of sense that this next move here from $2.08 should take us up about 70 cents. We should be moving up to about $2.80, $2.94, or higher. If I'm wrong there, I would think it's only because we went higher, not because we stopped at the golden ratio. It's very possible that we do just push all the way up to $3.15, $3.40, but I'm more under the perspective that from here we move up to $2.80, $2.94, and then we correct, we find support at prior resistance, and then we move higher. And then from there, I mean, it's anybody's guess as far as how long is it going to take for us to get to $10 and beyond. I mean, we're going to be ripping and running at that point. The way that I have this drawn, the way that I have this whole story kind of laid out, it'll probably be sometime after December that we see new all-time highs. It could be before December's over. We could see new all-time highs for XRP.
I don't see it. I don't see new all-time highs before December is over for XRP. It's going to be really hard. Because then we would need at least some indicators of upward momentum. But all these technical price indicators, they're looking bearish.
Before the end of 2025. But at this point, I'm more considering January to be the month that we break out and see this.
Come on, let's see XRP back at 3.6. that would be great. That would be amazing. Even if it's delayed for a month. I just want to see something like XRP do something.
By the end of February.
Guys, again, if you want exclusive event, trade to earn massive XRP rewards, I'll leave the link in the description below. Trading volume of 1 million, you get 90 XRP free. So if that's something you're interested in, smash that like button and I'll open up a trade over here and show you guys what exactly is happening.
Little room for the probability, the statistical probability that this goes to the downside.
So yeah, scary months ahead for January. Can SHIB hit 1 cent? Man, I've been hearing about SHIB hitting 1 cent, and we got to do a technical price analysis for SHIB as well. There's still SHIB holders, but it's looking bleak. A lot of original Shiba Inu holders left. A lot are simply one and done. Shiba Inu community is way smaller. It's a small part of what it used to be. It's truly over for SHIB. Like, this is terrible, what we see with SHIB USDT right now. But I'm going to make a price indicator as well and smash that like button if you want more Shiba Inu content. If you want to get started trading XRP today, simply click the link in the description below, click register to participate, and sign up over here for a free bonus. Like the video and join me, link in the description below. Yeah, so look at this. My technical price indicator is further downtrend for SHIB. Seems like there's a small uptrend, but I said during the bear market it's going down. So I said like all these pumps, all these bears that we're hitting. You know, meme coin guys, market is in pretty rough shape right now.
You know what I realized after I finished filming my earlier SHIB video? We didn't get to talk about those two specific comments regarding both price and regarding supply. These are things that I'm seeing pop up again. And we have seen many times before as we've been in basically these market cycle bottoms.
So guys, what I will do for SHIB is I think it's building some sort of momentum, you know, for the future. So yes, I will buy SHIB again on the platform itself on 2bit if you guys want to show me. I will buy a very small amount just to show you guys it's possible. $1.74. So you guys can say I'm a SHIB holder. You need to buy $5. Now then buy $5 of Shiba Inu. $5.01 of SHIB gets me 57, half a million SHIB. Remember, that wasn't possible before. See, now I own half a cent of SHIB, and it should be going up
before things really get ripping. And I want to talk about these comments with you guys. So if you are new or haven't already, show your support for the channel down below. But let's dive in. The first one is from Lord Har 123456. Appreciate the comment. And what he said is, I've been holding on to SHIB for 2 years now. And when do you think this will?
I mean, good job coming in 2 years because you hit the bottom low.
Ever hit 1 penny. The second comment was actually from PR No. He said, too much supply. Are they burning coins? So the reason I want to talk about these two things at the same time is because they are in fact related. Price can in fact be related to supply. So first of all, when we talk about supply, there are 586 or 589 trillion SHIB is circulating.
This was something that was talked about 2021 as well, by the way. Like so many people were saying, oh, is the supply gone or are we going to like fix the supply?
All right.
So I bought SHIB.
The problem is a lot of people look at that and say, oh, that's way too much. Oh, price will never go up because of that.
Yeah.
And the problem is that mindset is completely.
And a lot of the projects outside were burning tons of Shiba Inu, but like you could burn 1 billion, but it wasn't enough at that point. Like 1 billion was just not sustainable yet. So it's scary at that point, like how much supply there was because one whale dumped on us.
Long. It is based on what is available in the market as a percentage of market cap. And the problem is so many people think in this way that they really miss out on the real opportunity. This is why people missed SHIB surging to a $50 billion market cap before. The reason they have missed it surging to a $25 billion market cap in this market cycle alone. That was obviously all the way back in early 2024. And the thing is when we look at the relation of supply in the market to the circulating supply, all right, right now there's only what 81 trillion 470 billion SHIB available on exchanges. Here's the thing, it sits between BTC and Ethereum in terms of available supply as a percentage of circulating supply. All right, that is a very low amount. It comes out to about 14%. There's only 14% of available SHIB out in the markets that is actually on exchanges. Why I'm referencing this is because most people are not doing DeFi activity. We know in times of high DeFi activity, Ethereum gas fees get insanely high, and maybe that's different now with the new upgrade. But most people are putting assets into cold storage to keep them there.
And like a lot of these projects like XRP, they have 700 employees versus like Shiba Inu had what, 15, 20 employees. Can someone let me know down in the comments what's happening with SHIB? Because like I know the team at some point wanted to create their own project, if I'm not mistaken,
there to hold on to supply. And we've obviously looked at those metrics before. And what we're seeing is that the long-term holders of SHIB become longer-term holders. The mid-term holders of SHIB become longer-term holders. So we have one of the highest levels of conviction for assets in the crypto market. So you are truly looking at very limited supply for SHIB available on exchanges. All right. You can look at the big number and say, oh, it's too much supply. It's really not as.
Yeah, guys. So that's why like there's not a low supply. Even could just buy it instantly to show you guys how easy it is to buy. On 2bit, by the way, link in the description below.
Relation to price. Now, if SHIB was $1 and there was that much SHIB available on exchanges, then yeah, that's a big problem. That makes it very difficult to do anything. Right now, it makes it actually quite easy, which is why I think SHIB is on the verge of a big supply shock, because truly there is not enough as a relation to market cap to go around. All right. Now, here's the thing. The burning of supply, would love to see it because that does make some higher prices possible. Right now, in terms of Lord Har's comment, he said, when will SHIB ever hit a penny? Understand that a penny is a large market cap for Shiba Inu. All right. 1 cent would be 5 point.
So yeah, it would be impossible to be 1 penny. Why? Because literally if I held 1 penny and I would hold $500,000, it means I would have 50K USD from $5. It's not possible. This is a very simple math. It doesn't work out.
$9 trillion.
Unfortunately. And look, you can see the sell orders. People are already selling it at 600K. They're selling $5 of it. Do you really think like people would keep it if they can just, if they're selling it for $5 right now at this price point? It's unbelievable.
And I think we would have to see the market hit some pretty insane highs for SHIB to see those prices at its current market cap.
It's never going to reach a penny, but prove me wrong. You know, there's plenty of ways like Burns, if meme coin market is back, if the stars align, that's definitely possible. But at the current market, it's going to be insanely impossible.
And why I'm saying that is if we take a look at something like SHIB dominance, all right, something that actually still continues to look very good, setting slightly higher highs, setting slightly higher floors. That's actually looking really good. And it looks like, wow, I should have done a video about this. Anyways, we hit crucial resistance actually on SHIB dominance. And when we start breaching this 100-week moving average there, or 100-day moving average, that's going to be a really good sign for SHIB. But what we have seen in this market cycle is actually a high of about 1% in terms of SHIB dominance. Last market cycle, ignore the wick here. Last market cycle, we saw a high of about 2%. All right. So in order for SHIB to hit that $5.89 trillion, the market cap of crypto would have to be about 100 trillion, which they've talked about potentially taking place by late 2030 or by 20.
I mean, this is like, it's been almost 5 years since Shiba Inu and my career started with SHIB. It's time passes fast, guys. That's all I can say.
30. It might be later now because we've obviously had a big cycle where we haven't had retail adoption. But you'd also have to see SHIB garner, almost 6% of market dominance. Could it do that? Sure, it's possible, especially if retail comes in. They're very meme coin driven, very speculative driven. You could see those types of explosions take place. I'm not saying it's going to happen for sure, but that's how SHIB at the current market cap gets to 1 cent. And I think you need to have the SHIB ecosystem really take off. You need to have Shibarium be used in a heavy way. Right now, it's really quiet within the SHIB ecosystem.
The Shibarium, isn't that like the decentralized exchange? Shibarium volume? I mean, the issue is, like, why would anyone use a DEX if they can use a Uniswap? I'm just thinking $900 trading volume for, like, 2 coins. So, yeah, that's not good. Shiba Swap. It's not very used, is it? Volume. It's not perfect. It used to be crazy, but it has 241,000 volume, which used to be way more.
Yeah, they're having some partnerships pop up here and there. There's nothing really crazy, at least as of right now. But that's how SHIB can get to that range. Now, that being said, the ranges
I mean, the Shibarium is still making like $10,000 in fees a day, so just let that sink in. It's still making like 10K a day. Even on its worst days, it made like 1K a day. So on its best days, 400,000.
talked about for Shiba Inu before have been between basically 3 zeros 5 and 2 zeros 1. So that's between basically a God, I should have done the math here. So that's between basically a 250 billion to a $500 billion market cap. And those I don't think are crazy, right? We obviously know Dogecoin hit a $100 billion market cap. We've seen SHIB flip Doge before. It's a question of where does that meme coin money move? Does it chase new meme coins in the space, or does it go to the old dogs, pun intended, where there is some resilience, where there's conviction? And I keep going back to this fact that, SHIB is held up, at least as of late, as one of the better meme coins in the crypto space. It's not always the best performer. It's not usually the worst performer either, right? It's one of those that truly has a sense of stability in the market. It's why many of these other assets, meme coins, have bled versus SHIB for a while now, right? We had been at a point where we talked about Pepe potentially flipping SHIB, and then now it's as far away as it's been in quite some time, all right? And other meme coins have been just bleeding, and I'm kind of getting off track here. But the point I'm trying to make is, things are possible in time. Things are possible with adoption. People have to remember that we're still not very heavily retail driven right now. We're only at about 6% of the world in crypto. What happens when those larger amounts of people flow into the space? As long as SHIB fundamentals continue to hold up, the supply is just fine to see some of those prices I've discussed. And as long as the market still has an eye for meme coin, as long as we don't go through this.
But the retail and demand is so low for meme coins right now. It's so low. This is my worrying part. Like, look at what Shiba Inu. Let's take a look at Shiba Inu's Twitter. SHIB token. Let me pop this up. Shibarium Bridge foolishly choose not to accept the K9. It's finally time to share investigation. I mean, stuff like that. This is the stuff that we have been seeing for SHIB. We're partnering with Token to Play AI. I mean, they're still getting lots of partnerships. They're having a ton of partnerships. This is what I like. Accepting SHIB for a campaign. This is cool. This happened in the past. Alerts. So yeah, I'm hoping for something big. One type of big partnership would be definitely amazing. Japan's green list, awesome stuff overall. I just wish they posted more, expand the team. There is so much potential, but yeah, meme coins are down, and it is a worrying factor. So what I personally will do, I will hold these $5. Join me on 2bit below, and I will keep you guys updated with more news on that. Let's check Cardano ADA. So let's check, Cardano ADA. Big things are happening, and then this one.
We are at the point where 2026 really has the opportunity.
Cardano ADA. A lot of people are disappointed with it, but a lot of people will stand by its side and say it's amazing. What do you personally think? Let me know in the comments below, because I feel like it can go 50-50 on this one. I will keep you guys updated though. Cardano ADA has been very, very popular in the crypto space. So let's do a price analysis on ADA first. And what I said last time, I think I had a spot open, but I said, haven't actually done a price analysis on ADA. This is the bottom for ADA here. 0.43, but I said it's very worrying when I said, I wanted to buy ADA at 28 cents. And when did I say that? I literally said that in 2022. So all it has grown is from 28 cents, which isn't bad, 20 cents. It's grown 1x in 2 years, 3 years. So it's better than the stock market, I'm guessing. But again, this big retail pump, I feel like retail got into Cardano because they missed out on XRP, and now you can see whales are dumping. But again, we just need something from ADA. A lot of people weren't happy, but I still think that the long-term part of ADA, like a lot of these whales are still holding. So big things are being built, but it's going to take time. And if you're the type of guy who's patient, maybe ADA would be a big factor. If you want to get started trading XRP today, simply click the link in the description below, click register to participate, and sign up over here for a free bonus. Like the video and join me, link in the description below.
To be Cardano's best year yet. And why I'm saying that is there's a lot of things that are going on behind the scenes that people don't realize. People forget that crypto, especially blockchain tech, is like an iceberg. What lies below the surface is very much unknown until it comes to the surface, until it actually becomes news. And there continues to be more information that's coming out time and time again. In fact, Charles Hoskinson talked about something that a lot of people thought was dead. So we are actually even making progress.
A lot of people thought ADA is gone, but then suddenly it's still like is alive. So don't be too worried about that.
Perfect example of this behind the scenes. And I wanted to discuss this with you guys as well as a few other pieces of news. So if you are new or haven't already, show your support for the channel down below. Hit that subscribe button, that bell. It's free to do. It'll keep you updated anytime there's new content live here on the channel. So this was all a post by the Crypto Home. And what he said is Cardano's best year to date will be 2026.
This is awesome, right? But I heard that also in 2021. So I'm going to take it with a grain of salt. I know they've been building something though, and I covered it on my channel, but I always take posts like that with a grain of salt. That's the thing.
And I agree. A lot of people forget that even as price has kind of lagged here in 20.
Look, we saw a big top here at 1.6. Can we reclaim this top? Because you can see it went further downtrend. We saw another downtrend here. Bam. Obvious downtrend. If we look at the brush, bam, downtrend here. We place an arrow, which is going to be easier. We saw suddenly, same time as XRP explodes. This is what I call the era of technology. So this is when crypto XRP pump. But when XRP goes down, ADA is going to follow. And obviously, it's not going to give same gains as XRP because I think that it's a bit behind on XRP. And that's fine. XRP has been like the main one of the technology tokens. But literally, USA said they're not going to tax ADA. They're not going to tax XRP. Or at least that's what they were talking about. We haven't heard any updates on that. But this is a huge reason people and technologists would buy. Because of the knowledge, not just meme coins. That's what USA was looking into for crypto coins like that.
2025, obviously 2025 around the crypto market, kind of sucked from a price standpoint. It's been great from a progress standpoint. Full decentralization being looked at by major institutional players. Progress in terms of partnerships around the world, right? And then now we have some of the biggest launches coming. We have Midnight. We have Ouroboros Laos. We have the advancement of Hydra, right? There's a lot of things that are working in our favor, and maybe even some of these take until 2026 to get here. But the point I'm trying to make is that we haven't been, a duck just sitting on the water. We have been active. We have been moving. We have been making some of the best progress in the crypto space, I would say, right? And the great news about this is there is still so much more that can, in fact, be done, especially when it comes to retail adoption. And maybe some of these things really kick that off when we get, major stables, things like that, right? And I'm kind of going off. I'm kind of losing my train of thought here. But the point I'm trying to make is that just because price isn't performing to people's expectations, it doesn't mean you're not doing major things for the future. In fact, Charles Hoskinson talked about something that I think surprised a lot of people. He said Cardano has an exclusive launch, RealFi. We never left Africa. I gave over 1 million in loans to Kenya, Uganda. It's the ultimate bear market DApp. Yield is off-chain and has nothing to do with crypto markets and has predictable returns. So there are things going on in places around the world when it comes to the Cardano blockchain that people weren't or aren't.
So yeah, Cardano kept building for many, many months, even like pumps like that. The community stayed. Unfortunately, a big part of this community that stayed are the ones that bought at all-time highs. So they stayed because they could stay at all-time highs.
Aren't aware of.
But yeah, personally, what I feel about Cardano ADA is it's what, 0.43, and it used to be 0.2 during the worst years. Again, during the worst times of crypto markets, when you thought everything was over. You know what was the bottom? About 0.24. So about that, maybe a bit lower, maybe 0.22, let's say that. But again, it's 1x up. It's the lowest it's ever been. And then we can see a further push upstairs, right? But can we see a further push to like $1? I think like, you know, Cardano ADA is always going to be playing catch up at this point.
Anybody remember when we got the NASA announcement, how that kind of caught people off guard that they weren't?
Yeah, so that's what I told you guys. Like working with US, it's a huge thing.
In fact, utilizing the Cardano blockchain for supply chain management. It's kind of a bit of a surprise. Argentina kind of popped up out of nowhere. Dubai police force to store ballistics evidence. That's a pretty big deal. Popped up kind of out of nowhere. So the point I'm trying to make is, you know, while all these people are screaming that things are dead and nothing's happening, there's probably a lot of big things happening that you aren't necessarily aware of. And maybe 2026 is where the year where those things start breaking the surface, where they finally start coming to light and people start realizing, oh crap, we actually have a lot going on that, you know, remember we have an NDA. Charles Hoskinson has an NDA with who is it, SpaceX or something? Yeah, there's a lot of things, guys. Now, that being said,
so yeah, it does seem like that there is, you know, plans for it, but these plans, they actually take a lot of time.
This is another big
GATA from approved any moment institutional adoption of Cardano
into a bear market. And again, I'm not going to discount that between USDC and USDT. What?
250 million minted. Pretty awesome news. SEC cracks down leveraged ETFs. SEC has issued warnings to ETF issuers to block new 3 to 5x leveraged ETFs after recent market volatility. Sounds fair. SEC said we're proclaiming about ETFs offering more than 2% exposure. I mean, leverage is not a good thing. Don't use leverage when you're on 2bit, guys. On my platform, well, not my platform, but you know what I mean. You can buy like $5 of XRP. You could even buy one ADA. I think the minimum buy is $5. But you get the idea here is that it's these, you know, like exchanges, they're offering very high leverage. And that's something you should guys consider. Like ADA over here, we can obviously see where it goes.
The SEC said we are concerned about ETFs offering more than 2x exposure. And I think that, yeah, leverage has been truly a cancer in this year, 2025. Yeah. And retail...
Don't do leverage. And actually, if you trust ADA long-term, this could be the golden goose. Again, it might not be big. I've been pushing a lot of XRP because I'm trying to build a XRP community. But if this video gets 10 likes, I'm going to make a Cardano ADA trading community as well on 2bit affiliates. And I'm going to push more 2bit Cardano ADA price analysis. Smash that like button. If we get 10 likes, I'll do it. But yeah, obviously the reason why I've been pushing XRP is because a lot of trading volume here. Like there is an XRP trading community out there. We just got to find them, right? So there is a lot of plans here on where to get the traders and where to go from here. Like Cardano ADA, some people are just sleeping. Let's compare this one. Cardano ADA, you go over here. You compare it to XRP. Obviously not the same returns. Yeah, if you held 10,000 versus 2,000, it's still a big return, right? XRP, Cardano ADA should be actually giving more returns at this point. See? Who's giving more returns, Cardano or ADA? ADA, of course, but it's way, way low. So a big chunk of the holders of Cardano ADA are now people who bought it at a loss. You know, they didn't buy it at 0.2 cents. They bought it at an absolute loss. Absolute disaster. Sad to see. Very sad. So yeah, you guys kind of get the point. We have crypto, ZX. We have another video. Holders listen, can Monad break out from here? I haven't made a video on Monad yet, so smash that like button. If we get to 10 likes, I'm going to make another Monad video. 10 likes is all I'm asking.
But Monad coin is something that's been talked about
So
a lot.
let's take a look.
Like, what is that? I need to write to 2bit to start adding it in.
At what's going on, with the price of
Smash
Monad
that like
coin,
button. Let's take a
as we are,
look.
of course, going into Thursday morning. If we're looking across the board, we're seeing a little bit of a minor pullback over the last few hours for the broader market. But in the grand scheme of things, the market has been looking really good, I would say, over the last 3 days in a bigger perspective, of course. But if you're looking at Monad coin, it's actually up right now, up about 2.2% on the USD side of things, also up about 2.8% on the Bitcoin side of things. Priced right now, as of recording this update, is at 3 cents. So, yesterday's update, we were sitting at about 2.8 cents. So, of course, there's been a little bit of a bounce. The valuation at $327 million in the 24-hour trading volume at about $318 million. But as always, just a quick disclaimer, anything on this channel is not financial advice. Always do your own due diligence and research when you are investing in crypto. I want to start off with this right here. You guys know we're going to be monitoring the overall on-chain metrics to really see, what's going on. Is this blockchain even gaining any sort of attraction, especially after the mainnet went live?
I mean, yeah, Monad. I was hearing so much. What do you think about Monad? What do you think about Monad? I haven't heard anything about it yet, and I'm pretty big. Like, I'm pretty much listening in this space. So, guys, can you let me know in comments below know what Monad is and why it's not listed on the exchanges? Let's check that. Because if it gets listed, I could push it out and build like a trading community. I want to build a proper trading community. Monad is 133. Never heard of it before. Maybe because I'm a degen from 0.02 back to 0.02. Is it listed on 2bit? No. Maybe I can ask the exchange. We can ask the exchange to if it could be smart to list it. So that would be amazing. Join the link in the description below. Trade XRP to earn massive rewards, guys. So let's get back to the video as well on what's happening with Monad.
Coin itself,
So yeah, it seems like it's making a lot of chain fees, 10,000, chain revenue, 4,000. Actually, that's not a lot, but a lot of it's locked, 990 million, and not listed by many exchanges yet. Like Koreans are trading it.
The current circulation supply, the valuation is more than, so, the TVL right now is literally more than half. I would say around 60-70% of the valuation of the coin itself. I'm not talking about, the FDV. Again, if you don't know what FDV is, there's a lot of misunderstanding and a lot of confusion when people look at this.
So what, did just one whale like buy all the Monad? That could have happened.
Diluted valuation and the current valuation, which again, it's the market cap. There's two different things. Remember, I'm
guessing they kind of locked the whole supply of Monad,
which again is at 100 billion coins. But right now, circulation supply, the amount of coins that are available on the exchanges, that's only about 10.8 billion. So again, there's a big difference. So the current valuation is in consideration with the current amount of circulation coins that are now. Let's say if we had 100 million coins, like pretty much all the coins were out in the market, then we would be sitting at a $3 billion valuation. So that's why when it comes to that, I don't really look at FDV unless there is a big unlock coming. Then of course you want to kind of consider it. That's where people focus on tokenomics. I know some people say, Crypto ZX, why in the world are you talking about tokenomics so much? Because I've been in this space for almost 10 years, and believe it or not, I've seen so many coins launching with such short circulation supply at the beginning, but then over time, as more and more coins start unlocking, that's where you do tend to see the coin itself for really show major retracements and big sell-offs, and that's where you really see which coins are going to succeed. And that's why you don't want to ignore the tokenomics. That's why I talk about it. So that's the difference between FDV and of course the market cap itself. So now let's take a look.
Yeah, market cap is pretty
showing
high.
Strength right now.
Guys, do you think like they should list it on 2bit? Let me know down in the description below. Like maybe they should list it on a new exchange. Maybe we can like ask them. What do you guys think?
and use the link in the description below, and we'll check that out.
We're still within the 0.50 fib zone, but I do suggest you guys to go ahead and watch the market analysis. And
so yeah, a lot of these like big companies, I'm guessing like locked monad 133 on the charts. So my first time hearing about this one. Officially approved Bitcoin. Babes, crypto woke up today. Monad double low top and a whale exit risk. Monad's really failed. A mass exit by big players now threatens a major slide. Liquidity exit derivative traders top 100 whales aggressively cut 98% of positions, leaving the market fragile. I'm guessing they would sell anyway. Like these are the whales that got in early. And they're hoping for a trend reversal and not a downhill slide here. I get it. I'll keep you guys updated with more content on Monad, but it seems like the pretty clear area of what is here is it's just people are looking for a bounce back.
Where it was just yesterday, and we saw a rejection at that key range. But of course, due to the market seeing a little bit of a minor pullback, Monad is also seeing a little bit of a minor pullback. But now we are being supported by this 3 cents price point. But time and time out, I've been talking to you guys about how we want to break above the 3.3 cents key range. If it's able to do that, I personally do believe that we could start pushing up to the likes of 3.7 cents, especially around the 4 cents price point, which again is very, very important level to be watching for Monad. But again, we're going to take it step by step. Let me know.
I'll keep you guys updated and where we go from here as well. Let's take a look at another video. Sui coin. Sui has been very popular, and I'm basically testing coins right now. Smash that like button and we'll tell you guys where to go from here. We gotta do a price analysis on Sui. Lowest it was, I remember it was absolutely destroyed. So already did a 5x, which is actually a pretty good like top here. It's a pretty nice rally. When we check this is an amazing rally if you ask me. Trend line. Let's build a trend line here. Amazing rally. And then downtrend is over here. So slowly, obviously this was a bear market, but seems like it's trying to at least push out higher, and it could be a sleeping giant. Let's take a closer look at this. Smash that like button, guys, and if you want a bonus on 2bit, which is the platform I'm using, use the link in the description below, and I'll keep you guys updated. You trade to earn massive XRP rewards up to 2,500 XRP. So if you want 2,500 XRP or even Sui, and you can sell those XRP to get Sui, that's what you can do with a link in the description below.
To the update yesterday, Sui was the top gainer. It was the top gainer yesterday.
So yeah, it obviously seems that the Sui community is pretty big. I've been hearing a lot of videos about it.
So of course we're seeing a little bit of a minor pullback. But speaking about the pullback itself, just a few hours ago, it was actually the entire market that was up, but we see a little bit of a minor pullback for Bitcoin, which again is having an impact on some of these altcoins. So Sui is down about 5.1% with the price currently sitting at $1.66, down 4.8%. 4.1% on the Bitcoin side of things as well. Valuation still maintaining its level at about $6.2 billion. And the 24-hour trading volume is also looking really nice right now at about $1.3 billion. But before we get into any further, as always, just a quick disclaimer, anything on this channel is not financial advice. Always do your own due diligence and research when you are investing in crypto. So we're going to start off by taking a look at the Bitcoin dominance. So you can see for yourself, dominance, literally, where was it just a few hours ago? We were sitting at 59.8%, just about to break 60% mark. And since then, the dominance has been pulling down quite sharply. And for altcoin holders specifically, this is a good sign. When you see the dominance pulling down and the Bitcoin doing the complete opposite, meaning Bitcoin's going up, you're going to see altcoins obviously reacting to that overall Bitcoin momentum, but altcoins tend to outpace BTC the lower that the dominance is. But if you're looking at Bitcoin was still maintaining its price and was able to obviously.
So yeah, this is the good part, that Sui is trying to push above these levels. We can obviously see over here. Let's take a look at the arrows. It tried to form a higher high every time. And then obviously a lower low. Or a higher low. Look, obviously that's what happened. Bam. Then suddenly we went in a free fall. I'm not going to take this free fall for granted because this has been absolutely terrible for the market. But before that, it does seem like it went in a positive direction at least.
See, closed its daily candle within the 0.52 days in a row, which is nice to see. Got to take it step by step, of course. But right now, we're having a little bit of a hard time breaking out of the key resistance at $93,770. Again, a level that I've been speaking to you guys about on this channel. And that's a level I'm keeping an eye out for.
So which level is that?
It's nice to see. Got to take it step by step, of course, but right now we're having a little bit of a hard time breaking out of the key resistance at $93,770. Again, a level that I've been speaking to you guys about on this channel, and that's a level I'm keeping an eye out for. Obviously, now the question may be, Crypto ZX, what if we drop below the $93,000 price point? What are some realistic price targets to be looking forward to? Very good question. The next target to be looking forward to is the 0.50 Fib zone support line itself, which itself is around $92,280, which is, again, not a big move by any means. It's only about I would 0.7% down. So less than 1%. And that could definitely happen if we don't hold around these key levels, potentially, retesting the significant support around $91,779 could still be in play, which again is below the 0.50 Fib zone.
So yeah, obviously here, what's the lowest SUI can go? Just looking at these charts, it seems like 142, still holding pretty steadily. Like, I don't know if it would go below $1 unless we see some pretty bad catalyst. So if we saw something really bad, like otherwise it should hold above like 120, right? At least above these ranges. Bam. Like slowly, it really depends, like the two scenarios going up. And obviously this wouldn't be in 2026 October because this is like a daily chart. We need to go the 4-hour chart. So you can see there was a downtrend. I think I already made a prediction on SUI, but like a short downtrend and then going slowly uptrend.
As a resistance, as you can see for yourself. So we're seeing a little bit of a minor pullback, but even though we're seeing a little bit of a minor pullback, people might have already forgotten that, SUI has seen quite a big jump over the course of the last, 2 days. Again, if you want to kind of go back on December 1st, we were sitting at about $1.30. SUI did go up about almost 40%. So, a very, very impressive move. And right now, we're seeing after a 40% move, we're seeing a retracement of about 7%, which again is very normal. But look where we're bouncing right now. Resistance. There was some resistance at that key range. And now, of course, as these levels break out, you do tend to see the resistance usually play as a support. That's what you want to see, because if it doesn't, that shows weakness. And this is exactly what's happening with SUI's price right now. Obviously, in terms of the price action itself, we were already seeing the overall market trend in the downward trajectory. We've been seeing a lot of volatility, a lot of manipulation within the crypto space recently, especially from the leverage side of things. And that has dragged the overall market down. And on top of that, sentiment is not even that strong, as I've stated to you guys before on the channel. So when you do see big unlocks, you are going to see sometimes the demand not, outweighing the overall new amount of coins that are coming into the market. I know a lot of people kind of go back in time where, where we're seeing SUI holding up around $4.40, so on and so forth, and reaching all-time highs. But we want to kind of keep in mind the market sentiment and, the condition of the overall market was completely different at those times. So that's something I want you guys to kind of keep in mind. But so far, it's respecting this overall move that it has seen over the course of the last few days.
It's been very, very, very volatile right now. A lot of SUI holders. Let's check a Twitter of SUI. SUI network. What's this? SUI network. Layer 1 blockchain. I mean, there's a lot of blockchains, but it seems like something is different about this one. So they've been very active here. Both 21 shares, checkpoint, another unlock and extending access to SUI. Seems like Vanguard is going to be listing SUI. That's the bullish part. So yeah, they are building for the long term. A throwback Aslan Web, like it's a lot of devs building on a SUI platform. That's why people are hyped. It's actually building something. Build on SUI. SUI is gonna go live with pre-deposits opening later. This is what I like. I like people are building on the space. So it's an absolute cinema, if you ask me. If you guys want to trade SUI, use the link in the description below, and I will keep you guys updated
with more news. So smash that like button. Thank you so much, guys, to support the streams with the sponsor 2bit. I really appreciate it, guys, over here. We have more updates, and obviously I have been more curious about Monad. So Monad is the one that has
another day
been looking at my eye. It still hasn't been listed on the exchange. I wanted 2bit, the one I'm using, the one I'm trading, and let's go for 10 likes. Maybe it will get listed on 2bit. That would be immediately amazing because I like the platform. I want to open a trade, but I cannot. And Monad, if you watch this closely, here's why. Monad coin price prediction. Again, there's been a lot of price predictions for Monad and the locking case.
178.6 million, hitting a new all-time high for the TVL, which shows there is interest in the Monad ecosystem. Should not be a surprise because this is a very hyped launch. Usually when you tend to see hype more talked about layer ones that do launch, you do tend to see, especially when the mainnet goes live, a lot of excitement, and that is definitely being seen here. You can see for yourself, TVL hit a new all-time high. That pretty much sums up everything. But let's take a continuation look into the Bitcoin dominance. As far as that is concerned, again, it's been pretty much in this upward trend. We're sitting at about 59.63% as of recording this update, but just a few hours back, we were sitting at 59.8%, which was our new monthly high. Levels we haven't retested pretty much since mid-November. But again, considering the dominance is at 59.63%, considering that and then seeing how much the altcoins are up, that really shows you the strength that the market has right now. As far as Bitcoin is concerned, you guys can see for yourself, Bitcoin has done it. We broke back into the 0.50 fib zone level we've been pretty much talking about for quite some time, and
so yeah, it's trying to break through Monad here. The issue is a lot of whales have sold Monad. 1.3 generated in fees, with community receiving 1.2 billion, whether providing liquidity for chains like Jupiter or Monad. It's incredibly clear this is the meta. This is not the Monad thing. Monad is heating up again, both in tech and charts. What makes Monad stand out? It's push for parallel execution, processing many transactions at once without breaking EVM compatibility. Huge win for devs, and it's a big reason people are starting to look deeper at how Monad is looking on. It's a very, very competitive market. Short term, quietly bullish. Meanwhile, the 50-minute chart is showing real momentum. Absolutely amazing. Let's check here what's going on their Twitter. Monad mainnet ARC, 1.3 million followers. Maybe I should give them a follow. These projects are rolling out exclusive rewards on Monad, and then there are like a bunch of projects that are giving out rewards. Top 10 apps by total value locked on 10 day of mainnet. So I'm guessing like a lot of them lock their own assets and provide value that way. Can someone let me know in the comments below?
Retested exactly this line that I have. If you watch my update yesterday, you can pretty much cross-reference that. I talked about a 3.3 cents, resistance to be retested for Monad. And will you look at that, guys? Will you look at that? That's exactly where the price of Monad came up to, 3.3 cents, got rejected at that key resistance. Again, that is a resistance that has formed on the chart a little bit, but based off of, the data that we have, again, obviously we need to keep in mind that this project is still quite new in terms of, being traded on the market.
I'm guessing I'm guessing a lot of whales and projects lock it. Monad went live 1 week ago, and it's like top 5 how to change comparing key metrics. Transactions, 20 million. Like Ethereum has 10 million because it's very expensive. BNB has a lot of transactions. Bitcoin has almost no transactions. Well, I mean, it has 3 million. In 7 days. Changes 765%. Changes, like it's obviously going up there in the competitive market. So I wonder how it's going to perform in the long term. So that's the most important factor. Yeah, it looks cool.
So it probably is cool. It's trying to build something new in the space. That's why I like it.
That you're hearing, maybe if you come across someone that thinks that they know everything, let me tell you, that's not the case. You know, you learn every single day. I've been in this space for 10 years, and guess what? I'm learning still to this day. And it's good to learn. That's not a bad thing. But right now, you know, the price is sitting at 2.9 cents. You know, we've seen a little bit of a minor pullback again, and maybe profit taking as well. One thing I want to kind of keep you guys, you know, aware of is the fact that this is still a very low market cap coin. So, you know, swings are going to happen much quicker. And the fact that,
And don't forget, the whales need their money back too. They might cash out first. So yeah, keep those in mind. I'll keep you guys updated. Smash that